we're going to move on into our next topic. And this one's kind of a fun one for me because it's one of those topics where it's completely hypothetical. Because is it going to happen? Maybe. Is it most likely going to happen? Probably not. But there is a story. The one I am reading is from Jason Parker of fansided.com. And it says, plain and simple at the top, Brandon, I'll just read you the headline. NCAA rumors, Peyton Manning may want to coach for Tennessee. What do you think? Does Peyton go, number 18, suit up those gym shoes and that track outfit and go coach for the Volunteers?
You know, I don't really see that for him. I'll be honest with you. I don't see Peyton Manning going, and I don't see him really. Not that I don't think he couldn't do it, but I don't see him as the coach. I see him more as a front office guy somewhere. I just don't see him on the coaching side of things.
You're talking about in the NFL, front office in the NFL or front office in, I guess you can't say front office in college.
No, you can't. You can say AD.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be the AD anywhere.
No, I see him being more of a front office guy in the NFL. I to be honest, that's all in my opinion. That's where I see Peyton kind of going. But I don't see him being the head coach at Tennessee.
What would he even... He's the head coach, right? You don't tell Peyton Manning that.
No.
It was kind of like I was listening to The Herd when they were talking about this last week, and he even said, he's like, his co-host, Kristen Leahy, said, oh, well, I could see him maybe being the quarterback coach. And Cowherd goes, you ain't telling Peyton Manning to be the quarterback. Hey, Peyton, while we run drills, go warm up the backup over here in the back of the end zone. You ain't telling Peyton that.
No.
You're just not.
No, that's just not going to happen.
If he's gonna come and coach, he's gonna be the head coach.
He's going to be the head coach.
I don't know. There's a part of me that looks at this, and to read a quote from this article that was curated from Mike Freeman of Bleacher Report, it says, I keep hearing that Peyton Manning wants to coach his alma mater. Over and over, I hear it from NFL people I trust. I don't know if it's accurate. So it's one of those things. Is this just him talking out of his ass? Kind of like that one thing where it's like you're sitting there, you're like, I could do this. I think I'm going to go do this. But do you ever go and do it? No, but you're like, I think I want to go do that. And that could be anything. It's just I'm just kind of speaking in a general sense, but I think it'd be kind of cool to see Peyton Manning as the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, because I think for me, and maybe it's because I'm not a Tennessee Volunteer fan, but I think it would definitely create some spark among the alma mater. It would bring people to games. Kind of in a sense, I know Lovey's not an alumni of Illinois, but you bring in a big name like Lovey Smith or Peyton Manning. Look at that. Boom. Instant excitement around the team. The only thing I just don't understand, and this is where I think the hiccup would be, if this was actually serious, and I have yet to hear any kind of talk show for sports even bring this up, but I'm going to throw this question at you, Brandon. If Peyton is 100% serious, wants to be the head coach of the Tennessee Volunteers, could Tennessee hire him from a moral standpoint after the stuff that came out this season from his book about a trainer at Tennessee when he was a player, and about the touching his buttocks? And could they morally say, sure, you'd be the head coach of the Volunteers, or would that be something to stand in the way if he was 100% serious?
I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I feel like with some of the stuff that's gone on around the Volunteers and Peyton and what he may or may not have done, 35 years ago, or, however long it was, I don't know. I think that Tennessee I don't know. I almost feel like Tennessee could see that as in poor taste. You have all this happen. Mm-hmm. This girl comes out, all this stuff, and then boom, what do? They hire Peyton as their head coach. Personally, I don't believe any of that happened with Peyton.
But I'm just saying, it came out.
Other people would say they do, but the fact is what you just said. It's out there.
It is
out there. And I don't think that this is anything that's going to tarnish Peyton Manning's career at all. But
when you want to come back,
it's a little touchy.
But if you want to come back to the place where it happened to coach, that's the thing that I feel like these two would be related. And another thing, I got this from Colin Cowherd said it on his radio show. He said, I just can't picture Peyton as the guy sitting in the sedan driving X amount of miles to visit with recruits each and every day, because as you're a college football coach, you don't necessarily get that off season. You got to travel. You got to see recruits. You got to go to camps. You got to do this. You got to do that. Could you see Peyton being that guy, getting in the sedan, driving X amount of miles, singing about Nationwide's on his side?
I could see him singing about Nationwide. I could totally see him doing that.
And this podcast is not brought to you by Nationwide, just to put that out there.
Not yet.
Not yet. But is he seriously that guy to go out and actually recruit for a team, not just X and O's on the field?
I don't know. I don't necessarily see it. To be honest with you, I see him more as X's and O's on the field. I don't see Peyton as being the guy going out there and recruiting guys. I see him as being, bring the recruits to me. I'll show them how to play football.
Man, maybe that's the thing you need. You need the guy not necessarily to go out there, just the guy to say, you want to play for Peyton Manning? Sure. Cool. We gotcha. He would be the guy to bring recruits in just on his name alone. Now, what I'm saying, he'd bring in the number one draft class each and every year? Probably not. However, that could be a key coming in. And the one thing I do want to mention, because this is the first thing I thought about when I heard about this, is Butch Jones ain't doing that bad. And I'm just going to say 5-7, 7-6, 9-4. That was his last 3 seasons for the Volunteers. 2-6, 3-6, 5-3, respectively in the conference. So I don't even know if this is a viable story, because Butch Jones is doing well at Tennessee. Why would you kick him out?
Yeah, see, that just doesn't make sense to me. And like I said before, I just don't see Peyton Manning as being that guy. I see him more as a front office guy at the top, working with the, or in
football
operations, player development, something like that. I just don't. I don't see him as doing some of the intricacies that coaching does bring.
Could you imagine he goes to the Tennessee Titans as player development guy and just develops Marcus Mariota into the next big thing? Oh, that would be something. And I put the Tennessee to Tennessee connection out there, but that's one spot where they got one hell of a quarterback for him to develop.
They do. They absolutely do have a quarterback out there for him to develop. But I'll be honest with you, Peyton is not going anywhere anytime fast, in my opinion.
He's going to enjoy some retirement.
He's going to enjoy some retirement. My gosh, he's earned it. But that's
he only
won
a Super Bowl. I mean, there's nothing easy about that.
That's why, too. Now, thank you. Unfortunately, it was against the Bears. But
he's got 2 Super Bowls.
I think that right now Peyton is going to enjoy retirement, and I don't think he's going to rush into anything really fast. This is what the people in the media are good for. Speculation. That is
speculating, as I like to call it.
Speculating. And I think that's all they do. Especially right now, it's just speculation about what could happen. We have got a slow off season.
It's the off season.
We're
man.
bored.
We got to talk about something.
What could we try and come up with here?
I'll be completely honest, and this is kind of a I'm pulling you guys inside the machine of the Primetime Podcast into the inner workings of how we tick. When I was trying to come up with a middle segment for today's show, I'm thinking. At first, I'm like, oh, okay, I saw a video where Coach K could be thinking about retirement. We could be talking about that. Like, what if Coach K retires? Who could Duke bring in when Coach K retires? And then I watched the video, and it's basically Andy Katz telling me why he's not going to retire anytime soon, which my first thought was, fuck off, Andy Katz. Don't name your video that unless you're going to tell me that he's thinking about retiring. I hate those. Don't you hate those articles that are like, Coach K retires? Oh, no, he's not going to retire anytime soon. Fuck you. So that's why we didn't talk about Coach K retiring. And I'm like, well, bring on Peyton Manning. Let's talk about him maybe coaching for the Tennessee Volunteers. But we're going to go on into our last segment. Brandon can barely hold in. He's laughing. He's laughing a storm. He's trying not to laugh in the mic, guys. But you like that when I told Andy Katz to go fuck himself?
Yeah, man. You and Andy Katz right now. You are not his biggest fan.
Well, it probably wasn't Andy Katz's fault, but he's the guy who was in the video, and it was his video, so that's why I'm just going to put the blame on him right now. I'm sorry, Andy, if you had nothing to do with that. The Penguins at ESPN probably made you do it, but we're going to go into our last segment.
The Penguins.
The Penguins. That's the guy that those the ones that wear the suits that don't watch the late night guys so they can get away with the crazy stuff. That's why SVP can do what he does. They're the Penguins at ESPN. They wear the nice fancy Armani suits with the old cigars that we'll never know the kind of cigars that they're smoking, Brandon.
Are they smoking them in the?
They've got like
in the Levy Lounge.
Yeah, the Levy Lounge, or I think it's the Bistro now. The something Bistro where they bring in
Barry Melrose.
Barry Melrose. I think it's Barry's Bistro is what it's called.
Barry's Bistro. Barry Melrose, by the way, wears sometimes outrageously long suit coats.
Does he?
Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I can think of the suit coat off the top of my head.
It was big. He was flowing in it.
Brandon's like, man, I love those suit coats.